It started as just another shift for Officer Jake Reynolds, but what he saw that evening would haunt him forever. As he patrolled the quiet streets, his eyes locked onto a little girl, no older than 7, wandering alone near a busy intersection. Something about her seemed off. No parents in sight, her tiny arms wrapped around herself as if trying to disappear. Jake's gut told him something wasn't right. He decided to follow at a distance, watching as she aimlessly walked, glancing around as if searching for someone. His heart pounded. Was she lost? Had someone abandoned her? The questions swirled in his mind, but nothing prepared him for what he was about to witness. Then, just as she turned a corner and stepped into an alleyway, Jake saw it, something that made his chest tighten and his eyes fill with tears. What he discovered next would change everything. Jake's pulse quickened as he stepped out of his patrol car, careful not to startle the little girl. She stood frozen in the alley, her tiny frame barely visible in the dim light. Her clothes were wrinkled, her shoes scuffed, and her hair tangled as if she had been wandering for hours. He could hear her soft, shaky breaths. "Hey there, sweetheart," he called gently, keeping his voice calm. "Are you lost?" She flinched at his words but didn't run. Instead, she clutched something tightly to her chest, a small, worn-out stuffed bunny. Jake's heart ached at the sight. "Where are your parents?" he asked, stepping closer. The girl didn't answer. She only glanced past him toward the street, her wide, tear-filled eyes darting nervously. That's when Jake noticed it, a shadow moving in the distance. Someone was watching them. And in that moment, he realized she wasn't just lost. She was running from something or someone. Jake's instincts kicked in. He glanced over his shoulder, scanning the street, but the shadow had already disappeared. His grip tightened around his radio, but he hesitated. He didn't want to scare the girl. Instead, he crouched to her level, keeping his voice steady. "Hey, it's okay. You're safe with me," he said softly. "Can you tell me your name?" The girl looked at him for a long moment before whispering, "Lily." Her voice was barely audible, fragile, like she wasn't used to speaking. Jake offered a reassuring nod. "That's a beautiful name, Lily. Where's your home?" Her small fingers clutched the stuffed bunny tighter. I don't know." Something about the way she said it sent a chill down Jake's spine. This wasn't just a case of a lost child. There was something more. A deeper fear in her eyes, like she had seen something she wasn't supposed to. Then she took a shaky breath and pointed toward the street. "He's still there." Jake followed her gaze, but the figure was gone. A cold knot formed in his stomach. Whoever she was running from wasn't far, and they were watching. Jake's pulse pounded as he scanned the dimly lit street, his instincts screaming that danger was closer than he could see. He knew he couldn't just stand there. Whoever was watching Lily wouldn't wait forever. "All right, Lily," he said gently, standing up. "Let's get you somewhere safe." She hesitated, her small body trembling. He said, "I can't leave." Jake felt a knot tighten in his chest. "Who said that?" Lily's wide eyes darted around before she whispered, "The man." A shiver ran down Jake's spine. He didn't ask any more questions. There was no time. He took her small hand in his, guiding her toward his patrol car. But as they stepped out of the alley, his breath caught. A dark figure stood across the street, just beyond the glow of a flickering street lamp. He wasn't moving, but Jake could feel the weight of his stare. And then, just as suddenly, he turned and disappeared into the night. Jake didn't hesitate. He scooped Lily up and rushed her into his car, locking the doors as his heart pounded in his ears. Whoever that man was, he wasn't gone. He was waiting, watching, and Jake knew this wasn't over. Jake's hands gripped the wheel, his mind racing as he sped away from the alley. Lily sat curled up in the passenger seat, hugging her stuffed bunny like it was the only thing keeping her together. He glanced at her, his voice steady but urgent. "Lily, do you know who that man is?" She didn't answer right away. She just stared out the window, as if afraid to even say his name. Then, in a barely there whisper, she said, "He's been following me." A chill ran down Jake's spine. He had handled plenty of missing child cases before, but something about this felt different, darker. Did he take you from somewhere? Lily shook her head. No, I ran away.